First up, let's take a look at CUBA. Start off by checking out the daily chart. A few days back, CUBA had some sort of news that excited shareholders and volume exploded. It ran from 750 all the way up to 1005. It traded volume unlike anything we'd ever really seen before from it. The second day, it consolidated mostly. Closed a little bit down on the day from where it opened. Didn't quite retest that $10 area, but also didn't break down, didn't go red. Now today, on day 3, we are flirting with new highs. In fact, we actually already set a new high today. Take a look at the lower left-hand chart here, the intraday 1-minute chart, and you can see that that break happened early in the morning. CUBA opened up with a morning washout. It got down as low as 935, and then it had this straight-up spike. In about 10 minutes, it went from 935 up to a high of 1005. And that's a good example where I will not buy into a spike. I thought that that move was too much too soon. So I did not buy as it was breaking past 10. I wanted it to pull back. I wanted it to consolidate a little bit more. And that's exactly what happened. Now, after a couple hours of consolidation, we are building back up. We're nearing that $10 level again. And it looks like we may get that breakout soon. So I'm not buying in anticipation. I'm sitting back, I'm relaxing, and I'm waiting until we break past 10. And once we get that 10 breakout, I'm going to try it along. Buying in anticipation, it is usually something that I struggle with a little bit. I see what I think is a breakout setup forming, and I want to get in early. I want that 20 cent a share better average. There definitely is a part of me right now that wants to be longing into dips, risking off that 935 or 940 area, places where previous pulls had held. And I'm not going to say that this strategy is wrong. I'm not going to say that you should never do that. I just know that it isn't right for me. I know I'm not as comfortable when I do that. For me personally, I am better off if I just wait for that breakout. For you, it could be an entirely different story. I think the play becomes much higher odds though once that breakout occurs, so that's why I try to wait for that. 10, just like that. A very, very fast move. I pretty much missed it. I have to react late. I put in a 10-10 order and I'm trying to fill 5,000 shares, just get a piece. I filled about half so far. And I'm not chasing this spike. I don't want to panic and get in at any cost. I'm trying to be patient. I'm trying to wait for pullbacks. So since it just broke through 10 and it's already 3% higher at 1035, I'm not buying up there. This first pullback here comes back down to about 1020. 1020 holds pretty well there. Now we perk back up and we're back near the 1035 high. And now on to new highs of the day, 1040. So far, I haven't gotten the kind of size I want. I do have a little more in another account that I'm not filming right now. But in my speed trader account, I wanted a decent amount of size, and I only have 2,400 shares. Or $10 area. I think it'll need to consolidate a little while before it sets up for another leg. But now that it is over that multi-day breakout level, I will take advantage of dips. I will build up my position. But I'm really trying to be precise with my entry. I want to have as comfortable of an average as possible. I don't want to feel like I'm in from too much above the breakout level, because then that's going to make me more panicky. That's going to make me more likely to sell at bad times. Right now, it's just kind of a slow sideways consolidation. I would be scooping up dips in a heartbeat if we did get that fade. My risk on this play right now is probably about the 970 area, where that last pullback held. I'm going to give the breakout a little wiggle room. I'm going to give it time to work. If I lose 30 cents a share, so be it. Yet another 1020 test right now. During this consolidation, during this choppiness between 1020 and 1030, is this an area where you would have trouble holding? Would it be tough for you right now in real time as the minutes tick by to wonder, is this breakout failing? Why isn't it spiking more? It's much easier than you think to get bored out during consolidation. And just lock in those gains that you have while you have them. But CUBA perks right back up, and suddenly we just hit a new high of the day. So it's starting to look like I may not get the dip that I want. With how well 1020 is holding, maybe not quite yet, but down the road after a little bit more consolidation, I might think about moving my risk up to 1020. It's 1050s. And I did just cancel the rest of my buy order because now it becomes clear I'm not going to get that dip. And if I did get that dip, I don't know if I would want it anymore. Reverses and fails, I'm still going to be taking it off for a profit. It's now 1020, that's great because even 1020 should hold. We held 1020 for a while and now we're getting that next leg up. So from this point on, I think 1020 should hold. But because my risk is now 1020, that's great because even if things go wrong, even if this breakout somehow completely reverses and fails, I'm still going to be taking it off for a profit. There's I wanted it into that now 1070. It was there's a big seller sitting at 1070 right where the rest of my order is. In a minute. But now there's a little bit of crack. That's not my risk level. My risk level is 1020. Ooh, but now there's a little bit of crack. Dip it under 1050. I don't sell into that weakness though because that 1050, that's not my risk level. My risk level is 1020. I'm not going to sell into a random fade. Offer was gone. And people see that, people realize that now that those offers aren't there anymore. And all of a sudden we're flying up. We're right back to the high of day. I want to take off the rest into a spike. I made 7% though, and that was trading this very, very conservatively. End of day, you can see just how conservative it was. Cuba got all the way up to 1185 on this day, so I really only caught about half the move. The next morning, Cuba actually headed even higher, although it did gap down first, so if I had held any overnight, I know I would have gotten shaken out by that. But the breakout eventually did top out just a few cents under $15. So on a breakout move that ultimately ran almost 50%, I only made about 7% on this trade. I left a lot on the table, but that was a conscious choice by me. That's the style that I tend to trade these. I play conservative, I take the safe, predictable part of the move, and then I move on to the next setup. Or I look to short these as they get more and more extended.